Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mindset, Money, Success. And I'm your host, Loraine Marshall. And today I am going to talk about why I actually joined a 5-day virtual event that was free, and it was given by the Brave Thinking Institute. So let's look at why I joined. Covering the course, which was Master Your Message by the BTI Life Coaching organization. So why did I take time to want to listen to this event? Firstly, because I had already paid to attend other live events from the Brave Thinking Institute. I had attended the Dream Builder event, a virtual event that happened in 2020. And that event was hosted by Mary Morrissey and her team. Now, my experience of that live stream event it really helped me at the time in October of 2020. The reason being was that I'd been in a situation where my relationship had ended and my emotional well-being, my self-esteem and confidence had been battered and bruised. So I was reeling from shock at being discarded abruptly by the person that I had loved and cared for the past 11 years. Having no clue what I was going to do or how I was even going to continue my life. I couldn't even think straight anymore. I was a mess, a total mess. Now, I'd studied personal development and mindset for many years. And it's very helpful. But what I experienced threw me completely off track. I was in a place of grieving. I was in a place of fear, shame, and guilt. And I was blaming myself for everything that had happened. All of the dreams that I had were now broken, lying scattered on the floor, with me looking around and thinking to myself, where do I start to try to rebuild? And I was experiencing an identity crisis. I had no idea who I was anymore, no idea how I was even going to survive. The professional and legal advice that I followed in October of 2020 didn't help me. I tried many times to reach out and negotiate with this former partner, even before he left in September 2020, and again in October to try and cooperate and try to instruct mediators in November, and then again in January of 2021. And there was even a face-to-face meeting at one point to try and obtain a settlement through July 2021. And the next was January 2022, where I actually was then in civil litigation. I had received all of the court documents that he had then taken to court, the precarious eviction documents, and within the legal framework of the Spanish law, I recognized that there was an option to submit to mediation. And so I actually wrote an email to the former partner to try and request that we go to mediation rather than go through the court and the litigation. And that was January of 2022. And the very last time that I tried to solve things, resolve things, was before the court action through the free public lawyer that had been appointed to defend me. And at that point, I had requested through the lawyer, can we submit to mediation? And the reply from his lawyer was no. So on my part, on my side, I tried many times, but it was always closed down and shut down. So that was my experience of that point in time. Attending the live stream for Dream Builder was a way of trying to recover from some of the self-esteem issues and the worthlessness and the self-blame. And in October of 2020, I decided to start a blog, and I started to learn some new skills in April of 2021. So all the way through, I've tried to learn new things and implement and take action on the new things that I've been learning. So this is like sowing your seeds. Basically, when you do digital assets and create digital assets like a blog, like articles online, like YouTube videos. They are like digital assets, leaving a footprint that are online. So I contributed a chapter to a collaborative book, which then was published in the December of 2021. I started writing my own book under a pen name in the same month, April of 2021, and then published it in May of 2022. So I have a YouTube channel, and some of the videos are reflecting on the toxic relationship situation, but also I started off with the positive mindset affirmations that I created. And this was all while I was going through the trauma, the anxiety, the sleepless nights, and I was trying to figure out who I was and what I wanted to do. So for the last few years and for this past 6 months, I have been working on sowing my seeds and creating these digital assets. And I know that I needed to have patience, and I needed to grow my confidence and feel worthy again. So something that I heard while listening to the event resonated, and it is, quote, "You can't sow your seeds and reap your harvest at the same time. But if you have a huge goal or a big dream, you can start moving toward it." So that resonated with me. So attending this free 5-day event from the Brave Thinking Institute was something that was just over an hour every day, and it had recordings afterwards, so you could go and rewatch for a short time. They gave you actions to take. So there was deep questions to get you thinking, and if you wanted to play large, then there was homework at the end, and you could go and engage with other like-minded individuals in a private Facebook group. Record yourself live or record yourself and then post the video and get feedback on your ideas and how you'd answer the questions that were being asked. So it does help to get your mind thinking, and it also helps to be involved in something and feel worthy, and you're getting feedback. So it's a good way to start out. So my second reason for joining was to take notice of how the event was being delivered, not to take part, but to look at the structure of how higher ticket promotional events and sales are organised. Because ultimately, this free event was promoting the BTI Life Coaching Certification, and all attendees were being offered a free clarity call with one of the BTI coaches. Now, life coaching is not regulated in the UK or the US. So anyone can work as a life coach if they feel that they have necessary skills and qualities. But I felt that coaching is not what I'm about. But the opportunity to dig down into how to master my message was an opportunity not to be missed. So I had 3 good reasons to attend this free event, and I have been very grateful for many of the low ticket and free events that I've attended in the last 4 years. So what did I learn? Day one, 2 things that you need to get clear to be able to find success with coaching, teaching, or sharing your skills and knowledge to a wider audience. And that is A, what problem do you solve? And B, who are you going to help? The first 2 questions you really need to be clear if you are going to share your knowledge and skills as a digital online entrepreneur, a motivational speaker, or an author of a business level book. You need to be able to answer these questions. On day 2, moved into crafting a signature story. So in marketing and sales, you've probably heard the term know, like, and trust. I know I have. The audience was introduced to 5 days of creating a signature story that would pique interest and resonate with individuals who have or are experiencing similar problems in their lives. And once you start to share that story, this is how your audience get to know, like, and trust. So what were the 5 Ds that can help to shape your story? So here they are: discontent and despair, defining event, decision moment, discovery, which is the solution, and the dream. So let's have a look. Discontent or despair. To start your story, you begin with the problem or the pain that you experienced. Your discontent may be working long hours, working away from home, or missing your children, feeling isolated, an unsupportive spouse, or feeling like you are a lone mum while in a marriage. And the defining event. What was the moment that told you that there needs to be change? What happened? That might be relationship failure, job loss, bereavement. You might have experienced grief, heartbreak, trauma, depression, anxiety, fear, and uncertainty. The decision moment. What was your aha moment? What conclusion did you come to? And how did that feel? Then the discovery or the solution. Where or how did you discover the solution? It might be a live event, a virtual event, or maybe a motivational speaker, a TED Talk, a podcast, a mentor or coaching program that you invested in to help you transform your life. And the final D is dream. What results have you created in your life? Or how can you see a different future ahead now? And then day 3, how to share your story. Sharing your impact story while leveraging social media. So platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn. So all of these are great places to consider sharing your signature story. And sharing your story on public social platforms can help you to get your message out to the world, and your story provides authenticity and then helps people to gain trust. Now, I learned how you can repurpose content while following a multimillionaire property owner, trainer, and author. Now, this means that your video content can become articles and vice versa. Your long form videos can be edited into shorter, like 10 Instagram or Facebook reels. The same short reels then can be used on our YouTube and TikTok. So Also, great quotes from your articles can be transformed into meme posts for Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook using a software like Canva. Now, on day 3, there were some tips, and these were a huge help. So the tips were: start with a question, then introduce or welcome. For example, hi, my name is Loraine, and today I'm going to talk about XYZ. So next you explain why it's important to your audience, and then you tell your story. And most important is not to forget to include a call to action at the end. So that was day 3. Now, day 4 was using a technique called the time machine. And this is where you can assist people in thinking ahead to formulate what their ideal life will look like in 1 year, 3 years, or 5 years. Now, this is like a visualization and journaling exercise that helps people to think about what they truly desire and then set goals that they can aim to achieve within their chosen time frame. Now, it can be repeated until you get clarity on what it is that you want your life to be like and what you will achieve. Now, if you like the idea of the time machine, you might like to look at the episode I did on vision and dream boards and do the work. So day 5, the last day of the free event, was overcoming fears and the leap of faith. So the final day covered the biggest hurdle to achieving your 2 true desires, something that holds many people back from doing what they really want. These are our limiting beliefs, our fears, our reasons why we cannot achieve a desired outcome. And there are many. Here are a few that you might have in your thoughts and subconscious. I'm too old. I've invested in training and courses before, and they never worked. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't have the knowledge or skills. What if I fail and don't get any results? An exercise that I have done in the past is to take a sheet of paper and draw a line down the center. On the left side, write all the limiting beliefs that are holding you back. On the right side, rewrite those beliefs with more positive statements that will empower you to take action. And when you are done, you can release all of the limiting beliefs by splitting the paper in half, taking all the negative statements and tearing them all up to pieces while telling yourself, that was then, this is now. Keep the empowering statements as a reminder of your new mindset. Reread them going forward so that it's a reminder of your newfound passion to achieve success. Now, often in times of change, we can hit a loop that keeps us stuck. You might have heard the term taking a leap of faith. It means that you must focus on the desired outcome and believe in yourself. Anyone who has quit a good paying job to start a business or do something new will know what it is like to take that leap of faith. Now, in the past, I have done this on a few occasions where I have been in an employed situation and then felt that I was being bullied or things didn't feel right. And I left that employment with no job to go to, no financial security moving forward. And yes, you can end up in a situation where then you like in a panic because you think, oh, why did I do this? What's going to happen now? And you've got all this negative flow of fear coming through. But if you just hold on to things will change, things will move, everything's going to work out. When I was in those situations, I actually improved my circumstances. One time, leaving a call center job that I had and 13,000 a year. And one morning I gone to work and couldn't log into the computer system and sat there for 30 minutes or more without any work to do. And I just snapped inside and said, that's it. I've had enough. I'm leaving. And I went home. So I quit. I just basically walked out the door and quit. Now, at that time, I had been applying for other situations, but I didn't get any interviews or any, I hadn't got any firm offers. So I just basically walked out of the door. Then, within a few weeks of that, leaving that situation, I had a letter to say the interview that I'd done, I was, if I was available for that position. And the salary was over 20,000 a year. So my circumstances has always gone from one situation, and the next one that comes in is usually a better situation. And this has happened throughout my life, even though at the time it's really, really scary. So this is how you can think about a leap of faith. When you're in that position and you're needing to do something to change, it is like you need to take this leap of faith in order to jump across from one side to the other side. So have you ever taken a leap of faith? Let me know what it was and share your story in the comments below. Thank you for listening to this episode of Mindset Money Success, and I'll see you on another episode soon. Bye for now.